Hello guys, it's Janice. Today we have Mr. Good. Mr. Good. Mr. Good is very good. He always makes his bed, he always cleans his teeth, and he always wipes his feet. He never slams doors, he never forgets birthdays, and he never ever tells lies. Mr. Good is very, very good. However, Mr. Good lives in a place called Badland, a place where nobody is like Mr. Good, a place where people do slam doors, and they slam them in your face. In Badland, the puddles are much deeper than they look. Look at that, like he's sinking. In Badland, a dog's bite is worse than its bark. Ouch! In Badland, even the trees are bad. They trip you. One day it was wet and windy. Well, of course it was. The weather is always bad in Badland. Mr. Good was walking along, minding his own business, when the hat of the man in front blew off. Mr. Good leapt in the air and caught it for him. The man turned around and glared at Mr. Good. "What do you think you're doing?" he thundered. "Give me my hat back!" Poor Mr. Good. He was trying to be nice only. This sort of thing was always happening to him. You see, the very idea of doing a good deed in Badland was unthinkable. Mad! Well, it's Badland after all. If Mr. Good offered to help carry shopping, he was accused of stealing. Was he trying to steal anything? Of course not. If he kindly held a door open for someone, then he would be kicked in the shin. Ouch! Not surprisingly, Mr. Good was not very happy. In fact, he was miserable, very sad. So he decided to go for a long walk to think about things. He walked for a long, long time. He was so deep in thought that he did not notice how far he had gone. And he was so deep in thought that he accidentally walked slap bang into somebody. I'm so sorry," stammered Mr. Good nervously. "That's quite all right," said the man, and carried on his way. "Quite all right?" repeated Mr. Good to himself. "That's quite all right?" In the whole of his life, nobody had ever said "that's quite all right" to Mr. Good. That's the very first time somebody has said something nice to him. Then Mr. Good noticed that the sun was shining, which was strange because the sun never shone in Badland, even the weather was bad. Further on, Mr. Good found a dustbin on its side. Without thinking, he tidied up all the rubbish. "Thank you," said the woman. Mr. Good stared at her. Huh? In the whole of his life, nobody had ever said thank you to Mr. Good, because everyone in Badland was very impolite and rude. "Could you tell me where I am?" he asked. "You are in good land," replied the woman. Thank you, said Mr. Good. "My pleasure," said the lady. Mr. Good beamed. Look at how happy he had become. And I'm sure you have guessed that Mr. Good now lives in Goodland, and Mr. Good is happy. Very, very happy indeed, doing good deeds all day long, helping people every single day. The only thing Mr. Good still does not trust are puddles. Once you have stepped in a Badland puddle, you never forget. I'm happy that Mr. Good is happy again. I hope You are happy as well. See you next time.